Hey everybody, welcome to Coming Down. I'm Matthew, joined here by my co-host Nathan.
Well, hello.
Man, it's good to be back in the saddle.
Yep, indeed.
Man, it's been fucking frigid up in here.
Yeah, I guess we're in that season, the new season of Portland where it's just cold wind.
Yeah, just and snow sometimes and fucking freezing temperatures. It's been the coldest February in 30 years and the third coldest on record.
Well, as someone who commutes every day, I can verify that's true. I've been freezing my ass off in the morning, and it's weird, man. Like, usually we just get lucky with the temperate climate here, but man, sometimes we get these extremes, and it feels like it's happening more and more lately.
Global weirding.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it was necessarily last year, but definitely the year before or so. At any rate, we had a couple of years there where in February it was like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
We were calling it January because it was just gorgeous. Like the Oregon coast had some beautiful just like summer days in February somehow.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. Yeah, we get, and I guess I don't know what begets the other. I think the wind pushes the clouds out, but once the clouds are gone, we have no cloud cover. Boy, it just gets cold in this valley.
Yeah, it's that what is it, the low pressure air.
Yeah,
it's like it gets fucking cold enough.
Yeah,
the moisture doesn't even stay in the air anymore. It just fucking freezes out.
Right. Yeah, and everything just dries out. My lips chap.
Oh yeah. my skin is just trying to leap off of my head.
Yep.
Part of that's from working back-to-back 16-hour days, but I don't want to bitch about work too much on this fucking podcast.
Right, these intros are becoming
like dead people and Matt bitching about work.
Which sucks because, and again, I hate to make the top of these shows obituaries, but today sucked, man. So,
yeah, right?
Luke Perry died, which, I was never a big, 90210 fan or whatever.
Sure.
But being a kid in the 90s, he was just a prominent figure.
Yeah,
you couldn't go anywhere without seeing Luke Perry.
Exactly.
And so it was kind of sad to learn that he died today, and he was pretty young. I think he was 52.
Yeah, I mean, that's, especially by today's standards, that's not old at all.
No, not at all. And so that was a bummer. And then also, woke up this morning to find out that Keith Flint, the singer of The Prodigy, died.
Yeah.
And that's a real bummer because The Prodigy was really formative in my youth.
Same.
They were, I remember seeing the Firestarter video on 120 Minutes.
Yeah, dude.
Remember that show with Matt Pinfield and
fucking
shit? And I remember, and that song's not really one of their better songs.
Sure.
But that video was wild. He's doing that crazy dance, and it's black and white.
Yeah.
It's just
in
weird.
That fucking subway tunnel.
Yeah, and it's like
sick.
Punk rock, but it's electronic.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
That's what was so fucking cool about them, man. They were a live PA band. They were actually making those fucking synthetic digital sounds live in front of you using the actual fucking hardware.
Yep.
And then they had fucking dudes jumping around fucking yelling shit.
Right, so I can confirm that. And so I was going to tell this story at the top here just to sort of, pay my respects to Keith Flint. So I was into Prodigy. I liked that Firestarter video enough that I was like, okay, these guys are weird. And so I definitely bought that CD. It was one of the first CDs I bought, too. And then I got the chance to see them. So in the mid-90s, rather than doing a single event like Lollapalooza currently does, they actually toured Lollapalooza around.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was in 1996. I went to the Lollapalooza stop in Denver. And so I was like 14, and the headliners were The Prodigy and Tool.
Oh,
and
shit.
I mean and it was Tool on the Enema tour, and
man, that sounds like a good show.
Yeah, and it was, regardless of the problematic nature of Maynard and the accusations against him, I won't get into that, but
say what you will about Maynard,
and also this isn't about Tool.
Was fucking sick.
Yeah, music stands on its own, and this isn't about Tool, but they're excellent, and but the band that played right before them was The Prodigy. There's some other really good bands there too. I guess I'll tell this whole anecdote. So I found the band Two Skinny Jays, which are like a hip hop group that all like wore jumpsuits and played live instruments, and they were fantastic. There was a band called Demolition Doll Rods that was like split male and female, like punk garage sort of act, and they all wore just like these deep V-cut leotards, you know. Whoa. And it was like they were a riot. Cake was there.
Oh, cool.
Which was cool. They were really boring live, but they were cool. That band James, you know that band? Man, they have that one hit called it's the one that's like, this bed is on fire with passion and love. The neighbors... Anyway, it's called, well, I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, well, anyhow. Yeah, and they were... yeah, totally.
All right.
Yeah, and so they were awesome, too. And it was the weirdest thing, because they were this British, like, sort of, like, glammy rock band, and they all had these glittery shirts on, but the singer had just been in a car accident. And God. And so he had one of those donuts around his neck.
No way.
It just looked so awkward. Like, they're trying to look so glammy and fashionable, but he's just got this big foam donut around his neck. And he's,
oh, my God.
Yeah, it was weird. But they're great. Yeah, and so that Lollapalooza was a really fun event, but the Prodigy stuck out to me more than anyone because I liked them and didn't really know what to expect because they were electronic. I think, you know, I kind of thought maybe it'd be a little boring. Absolutely not. Like you were saying, it was live PA, so there's one dude in the back, and he's just got racks taller than him, you know, so 7-foot racks, you know, and he's got 6 of these racks just surrounding him, and he's running around and hitting buttons and tweaking knobs and just making all this music live. And then you had Keith Flint, the fucking crazy fucking triple mohawk dude running around, and then you had Maxim, the other rapper, and then they still had a bunch of dancers too, and like hype people, and they had pyrotechnics, and man, they just blew me away completely. And I didn't even understand that electronic music could be made like that, and that you could get all these hype people, and you could get these live do the live instrumentation, do the live singing and rapping and everything. It was really, really incredible. And so anyone who did get to see them, you know, you're really fortunate, because boy, they put on a hell of a show.
Absolutely. Like them and Future Sound of London, like I really feel like we're kind of like the punk rock ethic of electronic music.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. Yeah, so it was really sad to see that this morning. And so I'll leave it with a lighthearted thing that I read on Twitter. Apparently Keith Flint was just a really cool dude, so it's really
from all reports, it was just
really kind of tragic that this happened. But I guess not only did he start like a motocross club that had won several awards or won several tournaments or races, or I don't know how they do it, but
they were winners.
Yeah, they were winners.
Multi-winners.
But he also owned a pub in England and that he worked at.
Oh shit!
And I guess he had like a little like swear jar up on the mantle of the fireplace, which whenever he would go and like put logs on the fire or like stoke the fire, if anyone made the obvious joke, you know, of like he's a fire starter, a twisted fire starter, he would make them put a dollar or a quid in the swear jar, you know. And so that, you know, that really warmed my heart.
That's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, totally. So, you know, just take that with you. He was a good guy by all accounts, really cool guy, and, you know, troubled by modern life and drugs, as many of us are. So, you know, so rest in peace, Keith Flint and the Prodigy. You'll live on forever, fucking with some really badass tunes.
Damn straight. Oh man, that really fucking made my day. Thank you.
Yeah, I felt like that was good. So it's not like a full story that Lollapalooza experienced, but it was really formative for me. I mean, being able to see some of those bands at that age. I was 14.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was one of the first like big festival type shows I got to go to. And
God damn it, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
I had tickets to go to the like second or third Lollapalooza when I was 14.
Yeah.
I'd saved up for months. It had fucking Nirvana, Primus, fucking Pearl Jam, like a bunch of really fucking good and popular bands at the time. and I was going with a Jesuit volunteer who's a Catholic fucking youth leader as the guy who was giving me a ride. Like, he had a ticket too. So, like, as far as my parents were concerned, I was basically going with, like, a church
group, yeah.
Yeah, like, and they grounded me because I got a C.
No.
Told me I couldn't go to fucking Lollapalooza.
Man. Look, parents out there, just, like, find a way to let your kids go to shows. You never know when the last opportunity or your first opportunity or any opportunity to go see live music that you may never get back again, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, then, yeah, The Prodigy being a UK band, I never really got the opportunity to see them again, so I'm really glad that I did, obviously now too, but boy.
Damn straight.
Yeah, missing out on stuff like that is fucking rough, dude. You missed out on Nirvana.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, they've apologized for it, and I mean, like, there was
they weren't even always good live, but still, it would have been.
Apparently, they ripped that show.
Yeah,
but they've apologized, and like, I even put it in perspective for my dad because he went to the Winterland and saw Jimi Hendrix, the Grateful Dead, and the Doors all on the same night.
Shit, yeah.
And I think maybe even Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, hey man, you know, what if somebody had told you that you couldn't go see that show?
You're like, this is my Winterland.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, think about like how these bands are regarded now. Like, you know who all these bands are, and he's like, yeah, man, we maybe should have. We didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
like,
you know, ground your kids
it.
fine, but let them have some experiences like that, because some of that stuff you never get back. You never get another chance on some of that stuff, so... You know, I guess unless your kid's, like, the worst, but...
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to bag on my parents, but
no,
God
totally.
damn it, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Lollapalooza with Nirvana. Like... That's not something that happened more than once, you know?
Nope, certainly not. That would have been a show for the ages.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Anyway.
Well, anyhow.
Fucking rest in peace, Firestarter.
Yep.
And we'll put one in the swear jar for you, bud.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah.
You know, I think that's about all we got for chit chat. Should we just get to housekeeping?
Yeah, totally, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have much else to get into.
Tight. I mean, dude, that story fucking made my day. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking about it all day, you know, and yeah, at least there's some warmness to light the darkness,
right?
I guess.
God damn it, yeah. In this cold fucking
it's cold,
hellish winter
February.
that we're in, you know,
right?
Like, just a little fucking log on the fire there.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know, thank you to all of our patrons on Patreon for supporting us. If you would like to help us out, head to patreon.com/comingdown and
Coming Down Pod.
Sorry, Coming Down Pod.
Yeah.
God damn it, Matt.
They'll find it.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, all we got is $1 a month, but coming soon, merchandise, y'all, and other tiers. We've also got a show that we've already recorded with some hypotheticals that... You know, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Like,
yeah, that should be out real soon. I'm going to get that edited this week, and all you Patreons should see that very soon.
Hell yeah. And more to come on that as well. If you would like to read any show notes that we've got for any episode or find links to any of our platforms, that's going to be at comingdownpod.com. If you would like to contact us or if you'd like to be on the show, that's at comingdownpod on Twitter, or you can email us comingdownpod@gmail.com. Our platforms are Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and iTunes. And if you'd like to help us out, give us a review over on Stitcher.
Yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Woo! We're talking about doing collages. Did I ever tell you about this one time my friend Austin... yeah, go for it, man. This one time my friend Austin had this brilliant idea one night. We come over and he's just got all these porn mags out and he's just cutting out boobs. Just singular boobs.
Oh, no.
And he's like... He's like, I've got this idea. We're going to make a collage of only boobs. But not pairs, like
just
single.
boob.
Yeah, just single boobs. And so we just got super stoned and sat up for hours just cutting out single boobs out of porn mags and then gluing them to this. And it was big, too. It was like almost movie poster size of just boobs. And then we finished it and we were all like, this is fucking weird, dude. This is not sexy or... No. Yeah, this is just bizarre.
Like, it's like a tribute to Amazon, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that was our greatest collage.
Just the one boob to roll them all.
Yeah, except thousands of them. Thousands of one boobs.
That's what they should start calling the one level guys in Dark Souls. They're not one bros, they're just one boobs. I don't think it's going to catch on.
No, probably not.
Well, I can dream.
All right, man.
All right, so, this is I guess this is kind of a cautionary tale. It's mostly inspired by the fact that, the episode about all the fucking blow that I did is coming out today. And I was also hanging out with one of my partners in crime recently. So, it's all come back to the surface. And I figured I'd throw this out there just because you would think that I would have learned my lesson, right?
Yeah, so this is the funny thing, because for the listener at home, for those who have been following along, reference episode 9. And tell me that should have been the end of your cocaine career.
It was almost nearly the end of everything, but yeah. I feel like you're not wrong. I just kind of figured if I drank more water, it might work out okay.
Like maybe we can do this better next time.
Well, and to my credit, the few times that I did indulge on a very mild basis and after that, weren't terrible, Sure. But I would also like to clear something up. I don't feel like I've ever had a good time with cocaine.
No one really ever does, right?
Well, some people really love it. Some people, that's all that they want to do. But for me, it's just always made me feel anxious, but it's made it so I can drink more and I don't feel as drunk. So it's gone hand in hand with booze a number of times.
Right. We used to just call it rejuvenation. And yeah, it'd just
one
be
white mana.
Yeah, it'd just be like, hey, anyone got some rejuve around here? Because boy, I could really come back out of this cave.
Do you also get to draw a card? Is it a cantrip?
Yeah, basically, right?
All right. Anyway.
Draw a beer.
Draw a beer. Oh my God, we've come up with the worst party card game ever. Let's never do that.
Yeah, let's not.
It does lend a whole new weight to the colors of Magic, but anyway.
The cocaine color.
The cocaine. Cocaine. Anyway, that was the worst Dr. Roxo I've ever done. Yeah, so just to kind of give a little backstory, beyond what I've already mentioned about almost dying in Eugene and hating, or not hating cocaine, but never having actually had a good time with it. I moved to Portland from Eugene, and the buddy that I moved in with, he's had a little bit of history with this, and it's it wasn't really running his life or anything, but he definitely had some problems in the past where he had to make some life choices because things were getting bad, and
he liked to indulge.
Yeah. Well, and it was given enough free time, it just kind of wandered back. Anyway, I'd gotten a little bit of static on my choice of roommate because people were like, is that all you're going to be doing? And I'm like, fucking give me a break,
oh yeah, that's not, I'm not a coke addict.
Yeah, and that's not what he's about anymore either, so anyway, there were a couple of times when, like, you know, we're just in the basement playing WoW for hours, because that's really what I was doing at that point in my life when I first moved to Portland. And, you know, like, we might have passed a CD case back and forth a couple of times. You know, just to, like...
Just to get through that raid.
Just to keep the reflexes limber, you know? Like, as if 3 bottles of Viso a night wasn't enough.
Oh,
like,
Lord.
Oh, my God. Anyway, I'm just trying to say, like, there was some indulgence, and, like, you know, there were a couple of nights when, like, you know, maybe we stayed up pretty late into the wee hours, but there was never any time when it was like, go, we're just doing this is our life now, you know, like it was in Eugene. Like that, right. That never happened again.
No full-on benders.
Never. Like, you know, thankfully my boy was, like, at least distanced enough from that part of his life that he could be like, I'm gonna get a little weird tonight, but that's all that we're doing. And then my buddy, oh gosh, I really, like, I hate outing people on this. And, like, I feel like with something that's got this much taboo, like, we should maybe, like, avoid outing everyone. So let's just say my buddy who was going to school in the South came home to visit, and he had a friend who grew up here in Portland who had some alternative income, and it had to do with helping people party. And he helped us out on a number of occasions. And this was not something that I was really interested in doing, but it's like, I'm home for Christmas, let's get weird. And I'm like, why not, you know? And so, like, there was a number of occasions where we'd just go out and, like, have a lot of fun. And, you know, maybe people were giving each other piggyback rides at the end of the night and doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
You know, we might have stayed up all night watching Snakes on a Plane, and we did not listen to a word of the movie the entire time because we were constantly telling stories. And I don't think anyone was listening to another word that anyone else was saying. It was kind of like everyone in the room was just kind of simultaneously talking. Except when the snake bit a man in the dick. And then we were all unified with one purpose. It was like Mystery Science Theater 3000, but we were all the crow puppet. And we had so many things to say about that snake biting that man's dick. And it was just all in perfect, like, quip order. You
nice.
know? It was nice. It was wonderful. But, you know, beyond those few, like, great experiences, it was all kind of mediocre and mundane. And then...
Well, again, like you say, what the real purpose of cocaine is to just stay up a little longer and chat with your friends and stuff.
That's all it ever was.
It's not super enjoyable. I mean, it makes you feel okay. It makes you feel pretty rad for 5 minutes. And then,
right.
You know.
It's like your life jacket when you're at the bar, you know. It just helps you from getting your head underwater, you know. Like, you had a couple too many whiskey shots because your friend with a lot of money's an idiot, you know. Like, that bump is going to help you out. That's about what it was, you know. Yeah. But then, I don't know, man. There was this one time that he came home for Christmas, and he hooked up with his buddy, and we got this. And I mean, like, we never spent that much money. I don't want to say there was ever more than like $50 that was dropped, and it was always just like so much. You know, especially if you're just like trying to do a little bump here and there to like stave off the boozening. It was just like an irresponsible amount. And this time it was like,
so his hookup was super friendly or just sold it cheap or whatever.
It was like ancient homie fucking breaking something off of his personal stash.
Ah, there you go.
And like a man who has no problem going through a decent amount of high quality stuff.
Yeah.
So like, fuck, man. And this time around, like, he was in such a hurry that he just like broke it off into like a fucking flyer and just like wrapped it around, and like it looked like he just kind of squished it in his hand, you know, like. But it was, I mean, you could smell it. Like, I'm saying this stuff was either like he had just freebased it, or it was like kind of raw, or something. But like, it was strong and it seemed fresh. And we got all kinds of fucked up on that stuff, and there was a lot of it. So things started seeming kind of out of control about halfway through his little Christmas trip. And we kind of started charting a course because we were just like, well, what's going on? Like, how are we going to make it through this alive, you know? Like,
so you weren't exactly doing a bender, but there were consecutive...
Yeah, because, I mean, like, he had family stuff to do, but it was like, anytime there was free time, it was like, let's hang out. And also, we should probably do some of this fucking blow.
We should probably get through some of this.
How are we ever going to get rid of all of this? And I, you know, it's unfortunate that the idea of, like, who gives a fuck, like, get rid of it at some point never came up, because it was just like, I've never, like, gotten rid of drugs. Like, you don't turn down free drugs.
Yeah, right. Wow.
And I mean, like, that comes from a position of scarcity. Like, drugs weren't always plentiful.
Yeah, I was going to say, youth, you know, I mean, I have plenty of... I can turn down plenty of free drugs
these days, fuck it, man. I just, like... Go have fun, you know. Yeah. Like, I don't give a shit.
But no, I hear you. At a certain point in time, it's like, you're offering me something. You're offering me an experience,
right?
That I don't have to pay for.
And like my boy is just like, I don't want to just throw this away. Like, let's have fun.
Like, well, we're not throwing this away.
Yeah. Like, all right, I'll have fun with you, I guess.
Yep.
Anyway, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It was a good time a lot of the time, but. As I've stated, it was never something that I wanted to do, and I've never had a great time with it. So
sure.
It was mostly just like, yeah, I mean, of course we're going to drink tonight, so...
I mean, that's my stance.
Well, I guess like you said, lines, like, you know?
I've never really had a great time with cocaine. I've had a lot of great times, nights where cocaine was involved. So it's just like, yeah, like the cocaine served a purpose and allowed for some super fun nights with friends. Still don't fucking advocate cocaine. Like, it's a bullshit drug, dude.
Damn straight.
Fucking bullshit. And yeah, I mean, I am likely to never do it again. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever.
Same. So yeah, anyway, like, all this leads up to New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
And
perfect night for it.
Like, we've been doing New Year's at this house every year for a little while, and like, it almost always turns into debauchery. And we were like, okay, perfect. We're going to be able to offload the bulk of this blow on this fucking party night that we're going to go do. And it was like, cool, yeah. I mean, this is going to be great.
You're just going to go spin up the party. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, it almost always ends up being everybody up in the fucking master bedroom getting weird anyway. So, like, cool. I mean, like, we don't have to worry about wasting any of it. Tight. And so we go, and, like, you know, there's, like, all this food. There's this great spread. And, I mean, like, these guys had awesome attention to detail. You know, great music. There's, like, a DJ and a good sound system. And, you know, we're having a good time. And then, you know, somebody starts saying, hey, do you guys want to chip in? Like, we're going to fucking hit homie up and get some blow. And we're just like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, we got a bunch of blow. Oh, really? Yeah, do you want to do some? Well, yeah. So, like, really early in the night, all of a sudden, everyone's up in the master bedroom.
Just gets busted out, like, before midnight, like, way before midnight.
Yeah, it's like, I want to say it's like 10 o'clock. Like, somebody put in the call early because they were just like, we're going to need this. You know? Yeah. And, like, not even all the food's eaten. Like, yeah. We haven't even gotten into the champagne. And, like, already. It's
like, things shouldn't have even gotten debaucherous yet.
No, like, we're already at 11, and it's not even 10 o'clock, you know? And so we even put out, like, what we assumed was just kind of a medium amount. Like, you know, like, there's X amount of people, let's put out X amount of blow. You know, just because of, like, how we'd been doing our calculations on previous evenings when we were all already drunk, But it's early in the evening. It's New Year's. Everybody's trying to pace themselves. And so there just ends up being this, like, kind of excess amount of blow just, like, kind of sitting on, like, the fucking party tray, you know?
Like, no one's looking to do, like...
No, but
the coastline of Oregon.
No, like, kudos to everyone who was, like, hanging out. Like, everyone knew their shit and wasn't trying to get too weird, And so, like... we're all just kind of hanging out, like, just having a conversation, like, sipping some wine, and, like, we go back downstairs and, like, munch some more, like, hors d'oeuvres, and, like, eventually somebody's like, hey, want to, like, toot another one? Like, somebody's like, yeah, and, like, oh, should probably invite the guy whose stuff it is. Ha ha, like, we all go back up, and, like, while we're doing our second round, the guy who is called to fucking deliver the blow shows up.
Oh, they didn't cancel their order?
No.
Oh, man.
And, well, I mean, he's an old friend. Like, we all know this guy.
This is still, like, homie hookup guy.
No, this is a different person.
Okay.
This is a different person. This is a person from my past.
Okay.
Homie hookup was a person friend from the South, friend who's going to college in the South's past.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm not naming these people. Like,
no, I think
we already named everyone in the fucking previous Blow episode.
I think when you say the word cocaine more than 10 times an episode, like, you might as well just leave everyone out of it.
That's fair. Like, my apologies to everyone that I outed in the epic Blow episode, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we'll just leave them all out of it. But we know the score.
It's fine. The statute of limitations is passed on all of the Eugene crimes. These Portland ones are more recent. So
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, so a blow dealer shows up, and or not dealer. I'm sorry. To call him a dealer would be a discredit to him. At this point in his life, he's just helping out friends.
He's just a guy with a lot of coke.
Just a man who happens to know where to get a thing. And so the coke dealer, like, kind of buddies up to me, and he's like, hey, buddy, you want to, like, do a line or something? And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, you want to do a line? Like, right over there. And he gets this confused look on his face, and he's like, what? Like, oh yeah, man, we got a bunch of blow. It's like right over there.
Yeah, we got plenty to share, dude. Plenty to go around.
Right? And he, like, I can see, like, he's just kind of starting to get a little, like, not mad, but, like, the hairs on the back of his neck are standing up. And,
well, he's like, I came out here to make a sale, and, like, now it feels like I'm maybe not going to make this sale.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, wait a damn minute. Did I just show up here with a bunch of blow that I'm not going to sell? Well, you're damn right I'm going to do your free blow, sir. Walks over there and, like, scooches a couple of 3 bumps together and, like, does a big line and, like, kind of stands up straight and, like, doesn't see me looking at him just yet, but it's just kind of nodding his head. Not like, oh, this is crazy out of the world shit, but just like, yeah, that's not bullshit.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah, good on you.
Yeah, exactly. And then he looks over and sees me looking at him, just kind of shrugs his shoulders. It's like, sorry, man. Like, didn't mean to steal your thunder, but, like, fucking, we got some shit to get rid of, dude. And it's not on me that they didn't call you back. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, he wasn't mad. Like, dude can take it in stride, but definitely had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder the rest of the night, you know?
So he just decides to hang out and party anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, at that point, not that he was going to try to do all of our drugs, because, like, he still had to drive home, but, like, he's there for the duration, might as fucking well party, you know? Yeah. And I think at some point, you know, to his credit, he busted out some blow, too. Like, sure. Though he didn't need to. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the stuff that we busted out at first, it was just kind of like, you know, let's get it going, and then we'll fucking drop some more later. And then, like, we see that he's busting some out, and we're like, oh, was our pile insufficient?
Damn.
We didn't mean to drain your supply, dude. Like, here.
So this is just one of those parties with just, like, so much cocaine.
Unintentionally.
Right.
Like, you know, we didn't mean to have so much fucking drugs, but, like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
yeah. I mean, I have attended a similar party where we had a little bit of cocaine, and then it turns out every single person at that party brought cocaine. And it was seriously like over 10 people were like, well, I got some too. And it was just like, oh my God.
Oof.
And
it makes my nose hurt just thinking about it.
I know, man. Yeah, I kind of cringe at it.
Oh, it's the thing that, I mean, like, as an aside, that's the thing that I really don't miss is the fucking drip. Like, I hear some addicts talking about how they loved the drip.
I love it.
You fucking lunatic. Maybe it's just because I've fucking done speed, too, and like, snorted Molly.
No, here's the worst part, is I love it because it's so good with a cigarette.
Man.
Yeah.
You and Vincent Vega, dude. Like, good Lord. I can't. Maybe it's just that, you know, my adenoids and stuff are just so fucking shredded because my tonsils are so huge and my sinuses are constantly going.
Oh.
But, like...
Could be.
I can't. Anyway.
All right. Moving on.
So, yeah, like, homie's there. He's fucking getting down. Like, everybody's getting down. Like... It's to the point where we're all starting to get a little bit weird, and you know, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but like some people kind of started freaking out about other people, and like some people had to leave, and like I don't know, man, like people just started getting really fucked up, and so you know, I don't exactly remember how everything went down, but like eventually it was like, yeah, it's time to pack it up and go home. Like, everybody's trashed. Like, people are going to bed. Like, cabs are being called. Like,
yeah. The party has escalated.
Oh, is that gray on the edge of the sky? Good Lord. No. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so, yeah, we got the fuck out and said our goodbyes. And, you know, like a day, maybe two of hangover later, like I'm like
sounds like a 2-day.
Just starting to claw my way out of the fucking shit sack that my life has become. And you know, I believe I was collapsed on the couch in my living room watching like nature shows or something. Like, you're just some kind of balm for my savaged tissues. And I get this call. And it's homie saying, dude, I'm going back soon. Like, I gotta go back to school in fucking Carolina. Can I come hang out? And I'm like, yeah, dude, like... That's sure, whatever. He's like, you want to play Mario Kart? And I'm like, dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jam some kart. And like, that kind of perked me up a little bit. And so I went and I found my roommate and I'm just like, hey, homie's coming over. Let's fucking jam some kart. And he's like, fuck yeah. So like, we get the wheel warmed up. Like, we're already fucking racing. You know, and he comes in, he's dragging like a fucking half rack of fucking PBR or something. And like, we're like, yeah, all right, fucking fine. Like, we can warm it up just this much, despite how fucking just absolutely decimated we feel.
What's a couple of PBRs gonna do at that point?
Exactly. I mean, it's just a note soda, right? Yeah. Like, god damn it, it'll take the edge off. And so, you know, we get a couple deep, and then he's like, "Oh Jesus, where the fuck is my head at? Like, where's that CD case?"
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh God, no. Like, everything inside of me is just rebelling. And my roommate's like, yeah, all right, let's do this. And I'm just like, fucking God damn it. And like, I mean, maybe he wasn't that jazzed because I don't think any of us had that much energy, but like, he was for it. You know, like...
But he was down. He's like, I know where a CD case
like
is.
He went and he got it. Like, let's just put it that way. And, you know, we're passing it around, and it's doing nothing.
Right.
I'm like, cool. I feel like I can drink another beer. And I did, and I felt tired again, and then I did another bump, and I was like, yeah, it still feels like nothing.
See, bumps to beers shouldn't be 1-to-1. It should be like 4 beers to 1 bump,
right?
You know, or something.
And at some point, like, the CD case starts coming around again, and I'm just like, oh, all right. And then, like, on the next pass, I look over at my roommate, and he does a bump, and then he pulls his head up, and it all comes falling out of his nose.
Yeah.
Back onto the CD case, and then he, like, does it out of the other nostril, and, like, some of it falls out, and he just kind of shrugs his shoulders, and he hands it to me. And that was when I realized I was never going to fucking do cocaine again.
Yeah.
Because it had become such a fucking bummer.
Dude, when it's like a chore and it's not working and you're just like, well, this is the worst.
We're playing Mario Kart and drinking beers and blowing lines like it's nothing, and it's not even working. Like,
yeah.
That's just the saddest fucking clown the world has ever seen.
Yeah, no, and cocaine only creates sadness at the end of the day. It's like, it's so weird, man, because it's 5 minutes of pure fucking bliss, and you're just like, yeah.
Right?
Like...
Well, no, I mean, sure.
5 minutes is a stretch even, too.
But I've never gotten that.
Really?
No, like, I honestly never have. Like, I've felt my nose burn, and I've felt my heart beat fast, and I've felt, like, this rush of adrenaline.
Yeah.
But it's never been like, ooh, this is nice. It's been like, oh, God, I need to hold on to something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, so I get anxiety really bad.
Maybe I enjoy the, like, oh, God, we're in for it now. And I like that for a minute, you know? And then it goes away, and then you're like, okay, whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
Part of it might just be that I had a heart arrhythmia that started when I was in 7th grade, and like,
for fuck's sake,
anytime my heart beats fast, it's like panic for me. You know?
Well, that right there is really why you should never do cocaine.
Yeah, and I got that fixed. But
that's
it
right.
Certainly was well after I stopped doing cocaine.
Yeah. No, I mean that is that's one of those rock bottom moments, those bleak moments where you're
Absolutely.
like, oh, for fuck's sake, dude.
Well, and you'd think that would have happened when I was in the hospital with a cop giving me ice chips, you know, but...
You would think.
it honestly just took playing Mario Kart and seeing blow fall out of my buddy's nose. Like,
but in some ways, it's like the subtle moments can be even more depressing than the big moments. Because a big moment's a big moment, but those little moments, like you said, all you wanted to do was sit around that day, and then all you wanted to do was play Mario Kart, and then next thing you know...
That got ruined.
Next thing you know, you're just all a bunch of pathetic, sad sacks fucking doing this thing, and it's the worst. You're just like, no. I
don't want to do any of these things now.
This is no longer glamorous. This isn't, this is the, like, act 3 of, like... You know,
right?
Those biopics.
Yeah, it's like Hurly Burly, like where everyone's about to fucking die or like lose their job or fucking go insane, you know. But like, this is the last sad fucking scene.
Like the other, like your other story was maybe like the end of like Act 2 or whatever, where it was like, okay, it all culminated this, but we're still having fun. You know?
Like, honestly, I feel like that was like the end of Act 1, where it's like, you know, everyth's been going great, and then all of a sudden something went wrong.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that drove you into Act 2, where things start getting different.
And like, you know, what if I was just doing it wrong? You know,
yeah, right, yeah.
What if that was just not the way that it's done?
Still keep trying,
like,
because there's got to be a better way to do this.
What if you don't stay up for 48 hours drinking beer and not drinking water or eating? Will it be fun then? Answer is no.
No.
I've tried it many times, and as far as my neurochemistry is concerned, cocaine is never fun.
Yeah. No, and I mean, this is, I guess one of the fortunate things is, and maybe you are too, is that I've always been observant to those moments, which has been really important for how I handle my drug use, you know? And like, look, I mean, I've done my fair share of many things, and probably gone too deep on many things, but I, to this day, have always kept it in check. And a lot of the times it is those moments. It's those sad moments where I'm really perceptive of kind of like, this is the sadness they talk about with like drug shit, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had on drugs, and like, but then there's also those really fucking sad, pathetic moments where you're like, fuck, dude. No, this is what they warn you about, or like this even is the precursor to like where it gets real sad, you know? Like
exactly.
This is if you aren't paying attention to this moment, then like it's gonna get way worse, you know?
Well, I just gotta say too that like I feel so lucky that I never got fucking so addicted to anything that I fucking lost a job or like fucking, you know, lost a family member or fucking, you know, did something that was so horribly irrevocable that I couldn't fucking somehow bounce my way back from it. Like, you know, part of that is never having fun on any of the white drugs that I've tried, you know, like, thank God.
Yeah, and like you should be thankful for that because, you know,
so many people, like I know so many fucking people that do not have the same luck with this shit and struggle with it to this day. So
yeah, I lived with some crackheads and it was crazy, man. I mean, I think I actually might have a whole episode about living with them, so I maybe won't say too much, but
that's fair.
But I lived with some crackheads for a good while, and it was fucked up, the shit I witnessed, you know? It's kind of even shocking that I even did cocaine after watching all of that. You know, this is how stupid we all are, but...
Hey, man, you know, what if they were doing it wrong, right? I mean, you gotta try it.
Dude. God.
Gotta try it a different way.
That hopefully won't be my epitaph.
What if they were doing it wrong? Yeah, hopefully that's not either of our fucking epitaph. But yeah, man, I mean, like, you know, thank God that, or not fuck God, but I'm just saying, like, thank goodness that neither one of us ended up strung out or in some other way horribly wounded by the drugs that we tried, because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that got the business end of that shit, and it's unfortunate. You know, I really wish that we had some better drug treatment options here in this country instead of just fucking blanket enforcement.
For real. And better drug education. I mean...
Yeah. No, DARE just makes people want to try drugs, you know?
Yeah, DARE was a fucking joke. DARE definitely made me want to do psychedelics. And then just hanging around people enough for long enough living in the world is why I eventually, like, tried cocaine.
Oh, right.
And then did it, like, a handful of times.
No, I feel like that bears mentioning, too, which is that, you know, me and most of my friends, you know, in our early days of drug experimentation, like, all that we did was psychedelics and weed. We barely even drank.
Yeah.
Because we saw the dangers of white drugs and alcohol very clearly, despite, you know, all the shit that fucking DARE did. Like, we actually did our research and knew the fucking statistics.
Yep.
You know?
No, and that's, again, one of those similarities that we share, because I also operated that same way. Like, before I ever did any psychedelics, I did all my research, and I was like, this sounds interesting, but I want to know what I'm getting into. You know, read everything I could on it, and was like, all right, this feels like a safe decision. Like, went into it very educated, clear-headed, safe, and had a bunch of more or less safe experiences. And you know, and I subscribed to Terrence too. So like, I didn't even drink until I had been drunk a couple times, but I didn't, you know, drink on the regular till I was 21, or kind of like right around, or maybe even a little bit after.
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely had friends who were willing to buy me beer, and like, I almost always had beer around after I moved out of my parents' house. But I didn't drink regularly because it wasn't, not only because it wasn't easy to, like, get all the time, but just because I didn't want to drink all the time, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It wasn't until I was 21 and I was like, well, I could literally just stop at 7-Eleven and get a 22 right now.
Totally.
You know? And then I started drinking, not every night, but almost every night, I would have at least a couple of beers.
Yeah.
But, you know, it didn't become a regular thing until I was like maybe 25 or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really get into it until I was 21. No,
that's not true.
And again, even like...
22 or 23.
That's why I had mentioned Terrence, because he called everything that wasn't a psychedelic a dominator drug.
Right.
He even called weed a dominator drug until he started smoking it to try and cure his cancer.
No shit.
Yeah, totally.
I'd forgotten about that.
And so I was always like on my fucking high horse about everything. It was like, yeah, alcohol and cocaine and all this other stuff, it's just dominator drugs, which, like, he's probably right, but like,
Well, I tell you what, there's giving
also
anyone any fucking keen insights, you know?
Yeah, but there's also, like, healthy management, and I think alcohol, like, serves a purpose.
For sure. Well, and I mean, like, that's not to say that we haven't had some good authors and artists and, like, filmmakers and whatnot who were using cocaine, but...
Oh, sure, and heroin and all sorts of other things, man. Sure. I mean, William Burroughs was huffing fucking bug spray and shooting heroin and, like, being an insane person and is still, you know...
What are we fucking knocking bug spray now? Jesus Christ, you fucking Puritan.
Right? I mean, look. Next episode, why I don't do bug spray anymore.
Because I turned into a human-sized roach. With a talking anus on my back.
Yep.
Anyway, watch Naked Lunch.
Yeah, seriously.
Read the book afterward.
But yeah, you know... Yeah, I think all of this ultimately is just that, like, hey, drugs are cool. They serve a lot of purpose, but they also can be really sad and they can really fuck some people up.
Damn straight.
And you just have to, I mean, like, kudos to you, because you're one of those people who figured it out and you can kind of toe the line. A lot of people can. Very many people can't, though, and that's always when it's really unfortunate, because I think drugs in all forms, even the gnarlier ones, have something to offer as an experience.
For sure.
It's just, you know... and I mean, there's a whole conversation about how society deems it and we view it and how people treat it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but
I mean, I think you're right. Like, for every Hunter S. Thompson, there's, like, a million fucking derelicts in the gutter, you know?
Yeah,
like it's...
totally. And even, like, for every person like you and I who just can get down once in a while, you know, or have got down once in a while and, you know, turned out more or less okay.
Dude, yeah. I mean, we're still alive and we're still holding it down somehow.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I don't know. And I mean, there's the whole thing about, like, being a functional alcoholic or a functional drug addict or whatever.
Right.
And, you know, like, sometimes I even feel bad about that, but it's like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying I'm I'm not even saying I'm an alcoholic or a drug addict.
No, and I mean, like, I think we both have to acknowledge the fact that we are, you know, regular users of alcohol and cannabis, but, like, by the same token, we have both taken regular breaks. Like, we...
Oh, yeah.
It's not like we're, like, fucking gotta take a drink to get up or like any of that shit. Like, we might wax fucking melancholy about how much we use our substances, but at the end of the day, we do not have a fucking monkey on our backs, and we should fucking celebrate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I cheers to that, but that feels weird.
No, we don't cheers that. We thank our fucking lucky stars, and we stay vigilant because, god damn it, man, like, I've seen way too many people get washed down the gutter with this shit, and I feel like it's...
For real.
You know, by the skin of my teeth that I've fucking gotten here. So.
Yeah, I'm happy that I can manage my substances and handle it pretty well.
It hasn't always gone that way for me, obviously. But, you know.
Me neither. And, like... You're gonna hear some stories.
Oh wait, that's why we're here.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. I haven't told them yet, but yeah, maybe one of the next ones I do will be.
Hell yeah,
will be taking a substance a little too far.
I mean, I've definitely hung my dirty laundry out in the wind, so
I know, right?
We're all chomping at the bit to see what kind of juicy shit you got for us.
All right, it's my turn. All right, well. Cool. Then I think we'll call it there.
Yeah, I think that's good enough.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, you know, fuck cocaine.
Yeah, fuck cocaine.